My sleep schedule is whack. I catch myself doom scrolling all the time, and I love cookies way too much to give them up. Clearly, something needs to change. Hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Busy. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm currently figuring life out in my 30s. So in today's episode, why do I look like The Rock from the 90s? As I get older, the more and more I realize what I do today has a direct impact on my future self. So with that realization, developing really good habits has become super important to me. The very first habit I feel is the biggest one I really want to take care of. That's the habit of doom scrolling. So the way I'm going to combat that is 1 hour upon waking up and then 1 hour before going to bed, no screens, no social media. But the time frame in between, I'm gonna limit myself to only using social media for no more than 1 hour. Social media is my job, so in my brain I'm like, oh, I'm scrolling because I'm doing research, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Majority of the time I'm not. I have this time frame to use it, and that's it. And this habit is gonna help me so much with this next one because it needs a lot of help. The habit of having a regular sleep schedule. So due to the nature of my job, my sleep schedule fluctuates. Sometimes I'm going to sleep as early as 10:30, and then other nights I'm going to sleep as late as 3 a.m. It used to be even worse where I'll just pull all-nighters. It's all over the place. But I will say, I do get really good sleep in the sense of once I'm asleep, I stay asleep until my body naturally wakes up. But there are those days where I have to wake up super early and I'm going to sleep super late, and it's just not good for me to function to the best of my abilities. But I want to try to keep that schedule and not mess it up for no more than 2 days in a row. And something that I find correlates to me having really good sleep comes from food, which leads to our next habit. Watching my sugar intake. Now, I know according to like health resources, they say for a male, I shouldn't have more than 48 grams of sugar, which is still pretty high. Instead of saying, oh, I'm not gonna have any sugar, I'm just gonna try to be more mindful of how I consume it. So if I have a box of cookies in front of me, I'm gonna have just one as opposed to 9 cookies. I love cookies, man, they're great. Not only do I wanna watch my sugar intake for my health, I wanna be aware of the types of food I'm eating because I wanna fuel my body to the best of its ability. And because of that, so one thing I want to incorporate more is eating more protein. Now I was told I need to eat 1 gram of protein per body weight or ideal body weight. Now I don't do that. But I also want to find sources that is not just protein powders, protein bars, and meat. So that's a habit I really want to incorporate, but I gotta really work on it. But if I'm gonna be eating well, I have to do this next habit. Exercising. So I've been training for about 1.5 years now, and I counted how many workouts I've done. I've done about 200 so far consistently, and it's been great. And I feel like I need to be consistent with having 30 minutes to about an hour of movement each day. It could be as intense as strength training, simple cardio, or something as simple as walking and just making sure I'm moving throughout the day. Now, I know that's going to be a lot in my body, so this next habit has to be in the works as well. This is the habit of stretching often. I have a routine that I've been doing lately. I do it probably 2 to 3 times a week. Now with stretching, it makes me think about something else right now that I want to incorporate to my life, which is creating time to play more. I feel like all the other habits are pretty serious, not too serious, but I gotta really think about them. And even with work and stuff, I'm so intense about it. So it's good to just not take life so serious and just have fun. For me, I feel my best when my inner child's coming out and I'm doing things that raise my curiosity or gives me that sense of adventure. And I feel like my best ideas come when I'm in a state of play as well. One of my favorite things to do is look back on old videos or photos of me playing with friends, family, and things like that. And that nostalgic feeling I get from it is such a good reminder to just go back to that place and find moments to create play in my life. Talking about nostalgic moments and old footage and stuff, this next habit is crucial to that. This habit is about documenting my life and my journey as much as possible, so I have things to look back on and I can connect the dots with. It's just good to have. But with that, I have to remind myself to also just stay present in the moment and not fixate so much on pulling on a camera to document. Therefore, this next habit, this one's all about spending time alone and being still. Making time to just be alone and just be bored allows me to be more creative. I feel like I thrive in solitude, and it allows me to be better for my job when other people are involved. It allows me to be better for my friends, my family, my relationship, everything like that, when I take time to recharge for myself. And I am blessed to have a really good circle of people that understand when I say, hey, I need to be alone. They're like, yo, do your thing. And I like having that space where there's no external motivations to how I'm thinking. I'm just literally there. But talking about being alone, on the flip side, this next habit goes against the grain a little bit from everything we're taught. It's talking to strangers more often. I know, but there are really good people out there, and I'm so intrigued by people naturally that I love hearing about different perspectives, different stories, different ways of thinking that probably I wouldn't think about. And I just love genuine interactions with people I don't know. And it doesn't even have to end with like, oh, let's connect afterwards. It could just be like, in that moment, we connect, and that's it. If we see each other again, we do. If not, it's all good. Just a simple, hey, hi, can go a long way. I feel like it'll improve my social skills and so many other things. However, meeting new people, talking to strangers, it all sounds great. I'm all for it. But this next habit, this is a very tough one for me personally. This is the habit of not answering too quickly, especially when it comes to saying yes and saying no. So I want to normalize pausing before I answer questions, or probably even taking a few days to answer a question someone asked me, and give myself grace to say yes or no. I should never feel bad for saying no to something. Like me personally, if I ask someone for a favor and they say no, I respect that way more than them saying yes, but they never really wanted to do it. And on the flip side, not being afraid to say yes to like the most random things, because I feel like the coolest things come out of saying yes as well. And something I said yes to recently that is now something I want to normalize. This one might shock you. I mean, it definitely shocked me. This one is a habit of getting manicures and pedicures. Probably only gotten 2 in my life. One was because of work. They asked me if I can get a manicure. And the second time was the pedicure, and phenomenal. I don't know why I haven't been doing this. Now, these are just 12 habits I'm thinking of right now that I feel will benefit my future self. There's also other micro ones, but these are the 12 I want to focus on. But I would love to hear if there's any habits you're trying to normalize in your life, and I would love to start a conversation about that. But until then, sorry, I'm busy. I still look like The Rock. This would have been a good Halloween costume.